Howdy, everybody. This is Bake with IronThroneCraft.com. Today, we're going to talk about something that a lot of people ask questions about, a lot of people need to work on, and a lot of people just aren't quite certain about, and that is defending your castle. How to set up to trap, either solo or rally. New stuff came out. You can now take Crimson Steel and single type level 40 gear up to level 30. That helps a whole lot for castle defense. There's also the new city research that also helps a decent amount for taking rallies. So, this new gear, what it does is it increases our base stats. The problem people have been running into is with dragons and with rallies with big fillers, you've been getting stat zeroed. And so what this new gear does now is it gives us just a little bit more stats that kind of pushes us over the edge. So you see here, this is my guard captain. I've got Crimson Steel, level 30, engraved. And if you look at the stats on level 30 Crimson Steel, 158 troop HP increase, 455 attack debuff, 129 troop defense. So this is my setup specifically because of my troop count and everything else like that. If you look at Crimson Steel, if you take Crimson Steel up to level 30, the most important part of Crimson Steel's set bonuses is actually going to be the preemptive strike debuff. So level 30 gives you an additional 5% right there. That means that using a full set of Crimson Steel is still viable. I mean, not still viable, is viable now at level 30 because of the additional stats and the additional preemptive strike debuff. But there, you are still running the chance of getting your stats zeroed if you are running split troops and you're running Crimson Steel. That's why I'm still running Aspirant, and that's why I'm still recommending single type. If we look at Crimson Steel, scroll down to Slaughter here. Slaughter goes up to level 30 now, and you see you get 162 defense and HP for infantry. You also get 70% HP from engraving that. So you've got about additional, 22.5 defense and HP by going from 20 to 30. That's a decent amount. That's a big deal spread across that many. If you look at Dark Lord armor, though, 223 troop defense. That's the most defense you can get on a head or a chest. If you have a massive troop count, Dark Lord is still incredibly viable even at level 20. Here is the bread and butter of single type, which is level 60 weapons. See that? 650 infantry defense and HP, and then Crimson Steel has 158 HP. So you're literally getting 500 extra HP at level 10. If you don't have level 10, those are still incredibly better than level 30 Crimson Steel. If we look at the offhand, go over here, see the level 1, or the level 0 has 400% defense and HP. So you're still getting a ton of extra infantry stats by using a non-upgraded. Let's look at Feylord, and this is a full set of level 30 here, fully engraved. And look at his total overall stats, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Scroll down to the troop stats on Feylord and see his troop defense is 1033, his HP is 1248. I've got about 150 HP additional infantry, but so those are the stats for full Crimson Steel. Look at my Crimson Steel Aspirant set, 1500 HP just right there, and then I've got an additional 900 HP in troop stuff. So the stats for doing it, this kind of setup, are massively, massively, massively higher. The base stats. It's much harder to get debuffed. So let's say I'm going to switch over to archers, and I'm going to start using archers. What I do is I keep my Crimson Steel head and chest and my Crimson Steel accessories, and I switch my weapons to willful. Even if they're purple, like I said, purple is still better than a level 30 Crimson Steel or level 30 Outcry or anything else like that. A purple one. A blue one, you get higher stats, but if you're getting down into blues, you might want to keep the full Crimson Steel bonus just for a preemptive strike debuff. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to go and I'm going to put on Outcry head and chest on Infidus just to show you what it looks like, because that is a very extremely viable option for single type trapping right now, is still using this Outcry head and chest. You want to use level 60 weapons, even if they're lower level, as you see the purple there. If I were actually setting up for this, what I would do is I would break that level 10 willful right there. I'd break it down and I'd split it up amongst my guard captains. And but what I'm doing instead is I'm just kind of filling it in with Outcry just to show you what it looks like. So, anyways, bottom line, head and chest, Crimson Steel level 30, incredibly viable because of the attack debuff. You can also just use as high a level as you can get, but if you don't have level 30 Crimson Steel, what I would say to use single type level 40 gear. So that's Slaughter, Outcry, or Agility. Because of this new level 30 stats provided and the additional stats, you can use that as very viable. For pets, I like Lava Turtles the best. They give the most defense, they give the most HP. What I'm concerned about are my stats getting zeroed. If you look at Deathworm, even though it's the big bad Deathworm rally pet, All the stats you get from that are troop attack, exclusive to castle defense, attack debuff, and then a bunch of rally debuffs. If you look at this blue pet, if you're single type, you can totally use blue pets. Upgrade them as high as you can. Get your lava turtles as high as you can on your guard captain, and then on the second guys, use the blue pets. Upgrade them as much as you can. You see a level 1 or a level 0 lava turtle gives 40% of defense and HP. A level 15 of the blue ones gives 60. For runes, mighty battle runes, upgrade them as much as you can. Blood Moon's coming up this weekend. Farm those rune upgraders. Upgrade your mighty battle stones for HP for your single type. For world skills, I use single type defense. So you saw Feylord had infantry defense set up right here. Obviously, your power of the houses are going to matter a decent amount. It's not a massive deal to have these fully maxed. You see, even fully maxed, it only has 87.5 of single type stats. Guardian gives some stats as well. But the bread and butter for single type setup, trapping anything right now is going to be that gear, getting your HP and defense as high as possible for your single type. Step 2, build a crap load of that type troop. Step 3, build a little bitty bit of pre-meat right there. This is what I'm talking about with pre-meat. I have 4.7 billion T5 infantry. I have 1.2 million T4 cav in front of them. That's because the only way that I will burn is if somebody hits me with really big archers with really big stats. Those 1.2 million T4 calves standing in front of all of those infantry, just that tiny little amount, eats a ton of leverage off of archers. So the only way they're going to be able to burn me for the most part is if they solo me first to kill that pre-meat, and then they land the rally. So if you are single type, you need to be extremely cautious about taking a rally that has a solo land in front of it, unless the solo doesn't get those pre-meats killed. If you want to switch types, it's a lot easier now with this ancient magic, the troop transfer. It reduces the cost by a ton. It's not an arm and leg anymore, it's just an arm now. If you want to switch from infantry to archers or cav or whatever. It's very viable, it only takes an hour. Using the new level 30 single type gear and purple or as high upgraded level 60 weapons as you can switch between troop types pretty quickly, and by pretty quickly I mean it takes exactly an hour, and it costs a lot less. Just make sure that you're updating that pre-meat. Make sure if your pre-meat gets soloed out, you're running away. So like, subscribe, hope this helps. Feel free to ask in the line channel with any questions, and thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe, all that stuff.